one team. One dream. One fan.
30, 20, 10, touchdown Miami! 1, 2, 3, go!
Hello, Miami Dolphins fans. How are you today? Thank you for listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast on a Sunday evening, March the 22nd. I'm your host, Mike Oliva, joined, as always, by Tom Ernesti. Tom, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a busy week since we last spoke. The Miami Dolphins added 2 more top 100 picks, and there's now a lot of rumor and innuendo about some possible superstars. The handful that are left, maybe getting traded from Miami to add more top 100 picks. Who knows? We'll talk a little about that. Then, second half of the show, we'll have some more fun with the mock drafts like we did last week. Is now Miami, like I said, we got more picks in the top 100, so these mock drafts are getting more and more interesting, or at least more and more fun. Again, we don't know what the heck's going to happen, but with the mock drafts, it's fun to just play it out. Take a wide receiver here, which guy's there at edge, what guy's there at corner. Okay, let's now switch it up. Take this guy here first and hoops out. That's why it's fun, just sort of play out of various scenarios. So we will do that second half of the show. As we start, as always, the show is brought to you by Caneswear. Everyone go to the website, caneswear.com. For the best and most affordable Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet, caneswear.com's got you covered with merchandise for the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Hurricanes, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Heat, the Miami Marlins. They got you covered on all the teams. If you need anything with any logo from one of those teams, before you go to any other website, caneswear.com has you covered. If you're in South Florida, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida, stop by their shop. Also, a shout out to everyone who watches live at the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page, run by the great and talented Carlos Hernandez. If you're on Facebook, please be part of that. And Dolphins Talk Extra. Right now, we're taking signups for our fan mock draft. April 17th, Friday night, 8 o'clock. You have to be a Dolphins Talk Extra member. Patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. It's only $5 a month. If you want to participate, you sign up. You have to be on live with us that night. You will be assigned 1 or 2 teams, and we do a mock draft. And your team's up, you come on the air with Josh, Aaron, myself. You a few minutes, you make your pick. You don't ramble on. We don't want to know the whole back thought, of your history. You give us a few thoughts of why you're making the pick, who you take. Then we go on to the next person. We did it last year. It was a ton of fun. It's Friday night, April 17th, 8 o'clock. Sign-ups are now, but you must be a Dolphins Talk Extra member. Patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. And one last thing, if you want to advertise on our website or on our podcast with a live read, if you have a company, a product, a business, send me an email at dolphinstalk1977@gmail.com. All right, Tom. There's been some rumors that Jordan Brooks might be traded here. Nick Harris, who covers the Cowboys for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, he put out something a little interesting on Thursday, maybe? Yeah, Thursday or Friday, one of those days, that the Cowboys are looking to trade for a linebacker, and 2 of the names they're looking at are Azeez Al-Shaair of Houston and Jordan Brooks. They're having internal discussions. They haven't made a formal offer yet. With what Miami's done, though, you have to think if the offer is good, they'd probably jump all over it. I don't think anyone's safe. So what are your thoughts here on Miami possibly trading Brooks, and what would you like to get back if they do trade, realistically like to get back? Because I think some fans are like, I want a first. They're not getting a first-round pick for Jordan Brooks. And the Cowboys don't have a second-round pick this year. You have to remember that as well.
Yeah, the hard part is that, based on production and the contract that Jordan Brooks has, he's 100% worth a second-round pick, in my opinion. That being said, as you mentioned, the Cowboys don't have a second-round pick. So we have to be a little creative. So does that equate to Jordan Brooks for this year's Dallas's 3rd-round pick and maybe a conditional 3rd next year if he resigns or the Cowboys make the playoff? You could put whatever caveats you want on it. To me, a 3rd this year and a 3rd next year would equate to a 2nd-round pick. So that to me would be a deal that I would highly consider. Because at this point, Jordan Brooks the Dolphins aren't going anywhere. in 2026. We know this.
Spoiler alert. Jeez, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I ruined everybody's 2026 season already. They're not going to go very far. But I think this is just a big 1-year reset. In 2027, it's a complete different ball game. But Jordan Brooks at that time is going to be 29 years old. Does he want to live a entire season with the Dolphins completely gutting the roster? I don't know. So I think he would be open to getting moved. And I think the Dolphins are more than willing to move him for the right offer. And if Dallas is that interested, I mean, you could get creative too. And, the Dolphins with pick 30, the Cowboys are picking what, 23rd,
20.
So the Dolphins could get creative and maybe have an opportunity to move up to Dallas's pick. Dallas goes back to 30, and then you throw a couple extra pieces in there to kind of balance out the jump.
That was my idea. They give us either the third or fourth, and we do a pick swap in round 1. And that sort of caught a little steam on Twitter. Again, I don't know if the Cowboys would want to do it, but it's like, well, since you don't have a pick in round 2, maybe give us a fourth, we do a 10, and we swap picks in round 1. Or maybe you give us a third, and we swap picks in round 1, 30 and 20. It's a thought, but yeah, stuff like that, I think you can get creative.
Yeah. Which, it would be good for Brooks. We can't hang on to these guys that are not going to be a part of the long term for the Miami Dolphins. And Brooks is going into a contract year, I believe. I think he's only got 1 year left on his deal.
This is it.
So if the Dolphins get the right offer from the Dallas Cowboys, you pull the trigger. They have not been shy. We saw that this past week with Jalen Waddle. They are not shy about making these moves. And you add more draft picks because one of those draft picks can be used for a linebacker. So the Dolphins can make the replacement for Jordan Brooks and get Jeff Hafley's guys in the fold from a defensive perspective. So a lot to consider. I think there's still some time before potentially a move will be done. We're about a month away from the draft. A lot of things can happen, but the one thing that is for certain is the Dolphins are not going to be shy about trading some of their veteran players.
Yeah, I mean, I said there, and I think John Eric Sullivan would trade his own mother for a top 100 pick at this point, and I'm like half joking. This guy wants picks, and here's the other thing I think we have to start to consider. We have so many picks this year, and I know teams have had more than 11 total, but we have 7 in the top 94. We're almost at the point where we've got to start trading. If we're going to keep making trades, let's start getting picks in 2027. We don't want every pick this year. It just becomes too much at one point, which I know for some fans is like, you can't have enough. No, you actually can have too much, especially with 7 in the top 94. That's a lot. And that's why there was a mock draft put out by Chad Reuter of NFL.com. And he's very good with this stuff. He had Miami trade a third to move up 5 spots in round 1 to pick 25. They swapped with Chicago, take a wide receiver. Fans like, why would you do that? Because they have too many picks. You can have too many. Now, if they sit tight, I think they're fine. But if there's something that they really want, that type of trade's okay.
They have ammunition to get the job done. And that's what's most important. But I agree with you. You want to get picks in 2027 because that is the year. Because depending on how this team fares, if let's say they're picking 4, but they really want the guy at pick 2 or maybe going up to number 1, you need to have the capital. So having 4 third-round picks right now in teams that are itching, especially contenders, to move up into the third round, the Dolphins could net a second-round pick for one of those third-round picks in the 2027 draft and have potential to, again, have that ammunition to move up if they desire to do so, if they want to go grab Arch Manning, Julian Saint, Dante Moore, Lenore Sellers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whoever they have their eye on, they will have the ammunition to go get them.
Yeah, as long as one of those teams that are in front of them, if they're the Jets or if they're Arizona, they ain't trading. So that's where that becomes interesting next year. I forgot to mention, live on YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Super chats are open. One question that's not a super chat I'll read because it's just sort of fitting from our friend Cap for Life. can we afford to pay all of our rookies? Yes, because Bradley Chubb gives us $20 million on June 2nd. So we're not going to pay a rookie until June 2nd. And then on June 2nd, that's when they're going to start that process because we get $20 million in cap space June 2nd. So they have more than enough to pay their rookies, especially guys in rounds 2 and 3 that, don't make a ton of money there. But yeah, so I think Brooks, again, do I think he wants to trade him? Probably not, but right offer, see ya. There's no one on this team. As I said the other night, outside of Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, maybe Lamar Jackson, everyone can be had. No one's untouchable, especially on this Dolphins team. And every time I say it, get some wise ass who goes, well, Patrick Paul's not touchable. Yeah, guess what? You make us the right offer for Patrick Paul, you can
so
have
is Laramie Tunsil wasn't
exactly
touchable either, right?
No team's probably going to make us an offer that we would want to trade him. But if some team did, he'd be gone too. Everyone can be had for the right price. I sound like the $1 million man now.
Yeah, I was about to say, give me the laugh.
Exactly. So I think for Brooks' final year of his deal, he has 3 void years on his deal as well after this year. If a team wants him, it's a 3-step process. 1, they have to internally say, we want to add Brooks. That's where the Cowboys are now, it sounds like from the reporting. 2, they have to talk to Brooks, which will ask Miami, can we talk to him and his agent to see what he wants to get paid? Because you're not going to trade for him without having an extension in place. No team would do that.
Eagles.
And then
Eagles.
Yeah, and then after that, then you talk to Miami about trade compensation. But if you get through steps 1 and 2, step 3 is kind of easy, especially this year with John Eric Sullivan, because he's starting from scratch at this point. So he's like, all right, what do you got? And I'm sure they can make it work and they can get creative, maybe whatever it is. There's a million type of scenarios. They could come up with something. Achan's another one. I know that tweet middle of this week from Adam Schefter, I think on Wednesday, that, they're telling teams he's not available. Folks, don't be so damn gullible. That's just driving up the price. That's it. He's playing chess right now. This is smokescreen season. John Eric Sullivan, but he's not available. Guess what? If a team called tomorrow and said, I got a first and a second, he's available. That's all that is. Do not believe a word of it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, again, here's the thing with Achan. And I know this is where not having Chris Greer is so freaking good. And this is where it might get ugly, though, and uncomfortable for Miami Dolphins fans. If Achan and his agent if they don't trade him, and he's got some outrageous demand on what he wants to get paid, what the Dolphins can say? We ain't going to give you an extension. See you in camp. And he'll show up and do a sit-in where he's there, but he's not going to participate. They're going to go, yeah, fine, great. Don't worry. Who cares? We stink this year anyway. Who cares if you participate in August? And then come September, he'll eventually play at some point. And then guess what you do at the end of the year? You franchise tag him. And then he'll be all pissy and moany again. But that's what smart teams do. I know it's uncomfortable. You don't like to see it. But that's what, you don't just hand out big money extensions, because if you do, that's how we got in this mess. So no one wants to see that. But if they can work out a fair extension with Achan, great. But if they can't, this ain't Chris Greer in charge anymore. And I don't think this guy's just going to pass out a bad contract because, he's going to be unhappy, the player. No offense, F your feelings. And they're going to do what's best for the organization. So the franchise tag's in their back pocket. They're going to have not a ton, but they have a lot of space under the cap in 2027 to absorb something like that, because God knows everyone's gone. Shut up, Siri, you're talking to me. And it's like, so I don't think they're worried about Achan too much and the extension. If they can trade him, they will. If they can't, that's cool. And they'll probably try to work out something this summer. And if they can't, oh, well, not the end of the world.
Yeah. The big thing here with Achan is how it plays out on draft night with Jeremiah Love. I think Achan could be had night 1 of the draft or even night 2 of the draft, obviously in round 2. If a team, let's say the Titans take him at 4, you have teams like the Saints, the Giants. The
Saints signed a running back. The Saints signed Travis Etienne. Kansas City signed a running back too.
Yeah,
so but I think the Saints and Chiefs are off the board, but the Giants are totally on the board. The Giants are totally on board. If they don't get Love, I think the Giants would be a team. I think Houston's a team. I think Minnesota's a team. There's teams, but it's not the Saints and it's not the Chiefs. They already spent big money this offseason at running backs. They're not going to part with a pick for one at this point.
Maybe. Kamara's not getting any younger in New Orleans.
Yeah, but they signed Travis Etienne to big money.
Yeah, but that's a two-back. That's going to be a two-back system down there, in my opinion. It'll be a two-back system. Etienne can't carry the load. He's got an injury history too.
I don't think they want Etienne and Etienne both making big money. That's a lot. That's a lot of money for one spot. That was my point. I don't think they would.
You never know.
I don't think they paid. I don't think they paid for him. And then got the Chiefs just paid Walker. So I don't think. I think they're probably.
You can't have too many weapons in Kansas City.
I know, but they got to get wide receivers and they got to get a tight end replacement. So I think those two teams. But yes, there's teams like the Giants are the perfect team. Honestly, the Giants come around 2, not pick 5.
Yeah, so the
Giants are the team.
So the sentiment's there. If a team misses out, then they call the Dolphins and be like, "Hey, we missed out on Jeremiah Love. What do you want for Etienne? We'll give you a second this year and a second next year, or whatever." Right? I like how they're handling the situation, and I think a guy like Devon Achane, he showed that he could carry the load. Right? 260 carries last year. He was the guy. I can't remember his overall total. I think it was like 1,800 total yards. He's got a ton of touchdowns. He is a game breaker. These guys just don't fall into your lap. The Dolphins were very fortunate to take him. Obviously, previous regime, but you have to imagine that Bobby Slowick, being the offensive coordinator and working with Devon Achane, probably just be like, look, if the offer is great, yeah, sure, trade him. But if not, we need to hang on to this guy because he is arguably right now, he's a top 5, top 6 running back in the NFL.
Yeah. So Achane, 1,350 rushing, 488, so about 1,800 yards last year. Totals, 4 receiving touchdowns, 12 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants are a team to keep. I mean, again, we'll see. If a team wants to pay him,
pick 5 people. They will not give up.
No.
But they're at the top of round 2. That could be an opportunity.
Giants have 325. You know what? They don't have a pick in round 2. 65 is their next pick.
Oh.
So that might take them out. Well, I mean, there's ways you could do swap 43 and 25, and then they give us. Oh no, hold on. That's last year. I'm wrong. Let me see. Giants draft picks 2026. I'm looking 2025. My bad. They do. They have pick 5, 37, 105. So they have 1, 2, 4, and 5, and then 3 picks in round 6, including one of ours in round 6. So pick 37, we'll pick like 192, which was ours originally. Probably get that. I mean, something like that. I mean, there's ways. Again, we'll see what happens there. I think that one's less likely. I think Jordan Brooks is very likely. Not very likely. More likely. Achane's less likely. And I think because of franchise tags in their back pocket, they can get 2 good years out of him and then just let him walk. And they'll be like, oh, he's like, okay. Because that's kind of a lifespan for NFL running backs. They're kind of there. And I know it's cold. And I know it's not what you want to hear sometimes, but that's how good teams operate. And we haven't been a good team, so we haven't operated like that.
No.
All right, let's get into some mock draft stuff. First, shout out to everyone listening at finheaven.com. Everyone go to finheaven.com, largest Miami Dolphins message board on the internet. Wherever you're listening, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe this week. Got a lot of shows this week. I think on Monday we're going to have 2 shows. I have a special guest, and Josh and Aaron, I think, are going to do a show Tuesday. I should have Josh Moser. Wednesday, another draft preview show with Simon. And then the Fish Tank Live that night. So, I mean, we got a ton of shows this week. Between now and the draft, I'm telling you, we're going to be loaded with shows. This morning, I did a preview show of the draft with Justin Mello from the NFL Draft NSI. We did tight ends and offensive linemen. It was awesome. I got all the feedback so far. People are loving this one. We covered all the tackles, all the guards, centers. We went through the top tight ends. And these are 2 big need areas for Miami. Which guys can move into guard, which guys can't, which guys are strictly right tackles, which guys are strictly left tackles. We had if you want to know what's going on with the offensive line and tight ends in this draft and who are fit for Miami's, listen to the show I did this morning with Justin Mello. That's a great show. And I'll have him on next week. I think we're going to do the secondary next week. So we're going to have you covered like nobody else between now and the draft. And then draft night or draft week, nights 1 and 2 of the draft, we're going to be live. Josh, Aaron, myself, Tom's going to pop in. Some surprises are going to pop in on those shows. We'll be live for every pick, the 2 picks in round 1 and the 4 picks on Friday. Saturday, we'll see what goes on. If it's just 1 pick in round 4, then and then like round 7, who knows? But the Thursday and Friday, we'll have you covered. Then after those shows, myself and Tom go live and do a special podcast because not everyone's on YouTube, so the podcasts are for the people who listen on Apple and Spotify. So we'll have shows there. But between now and the draft, make sure you're subscribed. Wherever you listen, subscribe. We've been doing this for a long time. We got this down to a science, and we'll have you covered between now and the draft and through the draft.
I mean,
also,
I don't have to whisper anymore on draft night, which is great.
No, you don't. You won't be sitting in your car, unfortunately, because now you have a real house. Thanks to your big salary at DolphinsTalk.com. That's a joke, folks. So, and also Marissa Marino, some interviews next week or 2. They're starting up, and she already told me who she's gonna. It's huge guest. I mean, it's Marissa. You know, it's gonna be a big guest. She's got 2 of them in the bank, and we got more coming. And once we start that train, that's going to lead us all summer and have us occupied with just top guests with Marissa's interview. So be on the lookout for the return of Marissa Marino and those great interviews. All right, Tommy, let's do some drafting. Let me share the screen now. Again, here's the deal. If you're on YouTube, you can see all this. For those listening in audio form, I will do a play-by-play. Someone last week said, you talked over it too much. Yeah, because people listening can't see the screen. So I have to explain who's available with each pick. Work with me, folks. Work with me. Tom, can you see the screen?
I can see it.
All right. So I'll let you do one, no trades. We want to go fast. We want to do all 7 rounds. Yeah. Now, last time we did consensus, and we kept getting the same things over and over. I say we mix it up. Let's pick something different. You want to do PFF? You want to do ESPN? What do you want to do?
Let's do PFSN.
PFSN. Okay, 7 fast. And this draft, Tom will do by himself, and we're going to just reject all the trades. Later on, we'll do one with trades. And we're off. Reject. Okay, Tommy's up. He's got Francis Mayoga. I can't say that last name. Mayoga from Miami, offensive tackle. He's got Mansour Delane. He's got Monroe Freeling. He's got Makai Lemon. I know Tommy loves those pass catchers. And Kenyon Siddiq, probably your top options here. So, Tom, where are you going? I have a feeling I know where you're going, but tell the people your thought process at pick 11.
Well, after the Waddle trade, now now I'm tempted, right? I'm very tempted to go after a pass catcher here, but there's a bigger need, and the bigger need is the glaring hole on the right side of the offensive line, particularly at right guard, since Austin Jackson is back. So you're going to play Francis Mayoga for 1 season at right guard, and then you're going to kick him out to right tackle. So that's the pick. That's the home run pick right there. I watched him with the Miami Hurricanes, and he's a stud. He is absolutely a stud, and you can anchor that right side. Think of him as like a right guard, right tackle version of what Laramie Tunsil was when he came into the NFL. That's what you're going to do with Francis. So
yeah, and let's also be honest. Austin Jackson will be hurt by week 2, and this guy's going to be your right tackle from week 2 on. Let's just call it what it is.
Sorry,
so we will go with Francis there, and we move on to pick 30 in round 1. We're going to reject the trades, reject the trade, reject another trade. And Tommy, you got some options here. You got an offensive lineman. You got a corner in Brandon Siss. You got Colton Hood at corner. You got an edge rusher in TJ Parker. You can go another offensive lineman. You got safety in Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. You got some options here. I don't see any white. You got Chris Bell, but he's coming off an ACL. And this might be a little early in round 1 for him. I don't know. But what are some of your what's your thought process here with their second pick?
Well, the secondary is weak still. So you have options at corner. You got Brandon Clays from South Carolina. You got Colton Hood from Tennessee. 2 decent options there. And D'Angelo Pons from Indiana is the other one. I think it might be a might be a little early for Pons, but you know, I have to take a corner. I have to find a guy that is going to start day one on the outside because the Dolphins need starters. They have maybe some special teams and depth players on the outside right now, but you don't have a clear starter. So give me Brandon Clays from South Carolina.
How do you say that last name?
I can't.
Sis.
Sis. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So make sure
Sis.
we're talking about
Small
the same
writing, people. So I'm sorry if you're
Yeah.
listening and I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's small writing.
guy.
Even my
right.
glasses can't help me.
All right, now we go to pick 43. Let's see who's there. Reject the trade. All right, well, we still got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at 43. You got Chris Johnson. You want to double down in your secondary. You got safety corner. Keith Abney, another corner. Wide receiver, you got Denzel Boston. I'm a little surprised he's still here, honestly. And then at edge, you got Zion Young from Missouri. And you got Gabe Jacobs from Illinois. I think those are probably the guys in play for you here. What are you thinking?
Well, at this point, I have a 6'4" pass catcher out of Washington and Denzel Boston.
So yeah, 6'4", 209.
Yeah, you and the guy John Eric Sullivan said that we are not going to be a small wide receiver room. So you're taking Denzel Boston there at 6'4", and he's going to be your wide receiver 1 going into 2026.
All right, Denzel Boston it is. Now we get to round 3. This is where it gets fast and
this is where it
furious
gets
here.
fun.
This is where it gets fun. We got to reject these trades. All right, now, I think I know where you're going here. Well, here's some options. You got Keontae Scott, who's more of a slot corner. You got Skylar Bell, who was very productive at UConn at wide receiver. You got tight end Oscar Delp from Georgia. You got another big wide receiver who we both love. And I think we took him like in every draft last week.
Yes,
Jacoby Lane out of USC. I think he's another 6'4" guy, I think. Yeah, 6'4", 200. You got the Ohio State corner, Davison, whose last name I can't pronounce. You got another edge here from Tennessee who's very good, and Joshua Joseph. You got the linebacker from Cincinnati, if they do trade Brooks, Jake Galladay. You got options here, Tom. What's your thought process?
I see, being in round 3 with 4 picks, it's you can pretty much take either multiple positions, or you can really spread the love, right? You can really move around your
You
defense,
can solve a problem.
offensive line.
You can solve
a
problem.
lot of potential depth problems.
Or spread the
maybe
wealth
find
around.
a starter here. So if I'm going to go and maybe double dip somewhere, I'm going to take another corner with this pick, and Davison Igbinosun, yeah, look kind of like Igbenogany, but not.
Yeah.
From Ohio State.
Yeah,
I like that pick there.
He has a ton of experience at Ohio State. He got a little bit overshadowed because the team's so stinking good. Reject the trade. All right, now you got tight end Oscar Delp. You got Jake Galladay at linebacker. You got tight end Eli Stowers, and we spoke about him this morning on our preview show. Used to be a quarterback. Used to be a quarterback and just a total pass catcher. Max Clare from Ohio State, a tight end who's more of a well-rounded tight end. Think Tucker Kraft there. Danny Dennis Sutton, who's one of my personal favorites. You got options here too, Tom. Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to throw the proverbial curveball and double dip once again and take Bryce Lance, wide receiver from North Dakota State.
6'3", 209. Yeah. Bryce,
he checks all the boxes. He's not like his brother, so let's move away from that.
And we're up again with your third pick. You still got Jake Galladay. You still got the tight ends.
I've really neglected pass rushers here, and I know you love this guy, so it just makes a ton of sense. You take Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State. Yeah,
he will get sacks, but he's more of a set the edge, stop the run guy, which Miami needs desperately. I just think those type of guys always go overlook because everyone just looks at sacks, but I think he's really good. And you got one more pick after this. And
listen, folks, third round is going to be
it's going to be so crazy. That
It's gonna be
Friday
a lot
night
of
is going to be lit. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be crazy.
All
right, you still got your 2 tight ends. You got more corners. You got more wide receivers. You got 3 tight ends actually with Michael Trigg out of Baylor. You got Isaiah World. You got Austin Barber. You got some offensive linemen there if you want to go to the second one there. You got options here, Tommy.
Yeah, I think at this point you can flip a coin between you can go tight end. Clearly here you can definitely take a tight end. There's 3 of them sitting on the board. But I don't know. I think they still need some help up front. And one of the guys that's still on the board is Darrell Jackson Jr. from Florida State.
He broke his foot, didn't he, or no?
He might have, but he should be ready. He should be ready to go. So I'm going to lock this pick in, and I know
Jackson?
people are going to be like, well, you could have gone here or there, but they still need some interior defensive line help. So
it's a mock draft. No one should get worked up over a mock draft. So that's my whole thing in life. It's a mock draft, folks. Round 4, pick 130. All right. Ooh, we got 2 guys here I didn't think would be here. I will tell you them. Just you got cornerback Devin Moore at pick 130. You got safety Zach Wheatley there. I think those 2 are guys who are in play. You got some linebackers. You got Bo Stevens, interior offensive linemen's there. You got pick 130 came up pretty good for you here.
It did. I'm going to take the safety, Zach Wheatley from Penn State. They need depth at safety. And I think with all the defensive backs, even some of the guys I'm taking, you can play around in mini camp and in summer and June as well as OTAs and see if maybe one of these corners can convert to safety because you're looking big bodies, right? Yeah. You see all the guys they had. You must be this tall to ride the slide at Miami Dolphins facility if you're a defensive back. You have to be above 6 foot, and I think you have to take that in consideration. So take the safety, Zach Wheatley, Penn State.
A lot of Penn State guys in this team is going to make OJ happy. Chop Robinson, Zach Wheatley,
I got to pander
Danny
to the guys at the fish tank, buddy.
Okay, pick 150. Pick 151 in round 5. You got your boy Carson back there. You got Jalen Farmer, who I'm shocked he's still here on this board. Jake Slaughter is more of a center, but someone who probably can play guard as well. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure if you can play center, you can probably play guard. You got options here, Tom. Where are you going?
Yep. I'd love the idea of Jalen Farmer, but I think you're going to throw a dart and you're going to bring in Carson Beck at pick 151 for the quarterback competition with Quinn Ewers.
And where's the next one? I don't even know. I think round 7 we got 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
227. Watching all these guys just fly off the draft board, Mike.
227. Okay. I think you might have met. I mean, I don't know if you messed up, but I don't think we expected Drew Aller to be there in round 7.
No. I mean, was his pro day that bad that they haven't?
No, it wasn't that bad. I don't look. This is a computerized mock draft simulator. Yep. In reality, probably around 5 or 6, he's coming off the board. Possibly 4. Some people say, he's going around 3. I don't see it. Some people say around 4. It's possible, I guess, on that Saturday. But most likely 5 on is where he's going, and he won't make it to 7. But here he did.
All right.
It'd be overkill to take him.
It would be overkill. All right, we're in round 7. So let's throw the dart at Eric Gentry, linebacker from USC.
Then your last pick, he's still there. Oh my God. You know what? At this point, you got to take him.
Yeah, at this point, take Drew Aller. Why not? 4 quarterbacks.
Well, 5 really, because you got to count Cam Miller, who they liked a lot.
Cam Miller's going to be gone if this happens.
Well, yeah. All right, so here's your draft: Francis Magawa, Brandon Siss, Denzel Ball. So you get 2 cornerbacks in your first 4 pick. You get hopefully a top wide receiver. You get someone to put on the right side of your line. You get a second wide receiver. Then you get some guys up front to build up the trenches on defense. You get a safety. You got a couple quarterbacks, linebacker. Not bad. Not a bad draft right there. So, all right, Tommy, good one. Now I'll go. Oh, let's go back here. Let's go fast. 7 rounds. I'm going to do PFF. Let's see how this shakes out. And Miami. So now it's my mock draft. No trades on this one. No trades. Okay. Oh! Whoa! We got...
Just run to the podium. Run to the podium, Mike.
Now,
run.
I have said I am against this. But with who's on the board, you have Carnell Tate at pick 11, Jermod McCoy. You have Caleb Banks, Thienan, who I like a lot, but I'm probably not taking a safety. As much as I don't want to take a wide receiver at pick 11, the fine folks at PFF have put me in a position to take a wide receiver at pick 11. So at pick 11, we're going with Carnell Tate out of Ohio State with Miami's first pick.
That's absolutely. If that happens draft night, I'm doing.
I know you'll be very happy.
I'll be.
That's why everyone has to tune in to the DolphinsTalk YouTube channel to see the live reactions of everyone. It's a lot of fun, and Tom would go nuts for this. And I know Josh and Aaron would absolutely hate it. I wouldn't hate it. I don't love it, but I'm not taking McCoy with an ACL. Thienen's a little high. They could go Falk, I guess. This, I think, is let's see. I think this is a more realistic draft that we've seen so far with the first 10 picks. Fernando Mendoza, Ruben Bain, Downs, Bailey, Reese, Magawa, Lemon, Mansour, Love, Sonny Styles. This is more realistic than anyone we've seen so far, in my opinion. So I'm going to go Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate is like, I think he's very comparable to Jackson Smith-Njigba, just in the style of play.
I think he's very much like who's the guy for Cincinnati? Not Chase. Who's the other one? Slipping my mind. T. Higgins. I think he's very much like that too. Okay, now we pick 30.
Oh, now God, look at that board. Look at what you got.
I know Tom's wishing he had this.
Oh, draft. I'm drooling.
He'd go Kenyon Sadiq, tight end. I ain't doing that though. You got Banks. You got both Utah guys or just one? You got one of the Utah tackles and Caleb Lamu. You got Lee Hunter, Brandon Siss, Colton Hood's there, Blake Miller, who I like a lot. I'm gonna go Lamu because I don't trust Austin Jackson as far as I can throw him. And we got to fix this offensive line. We need both tackles and guards. And you can try them at one spot. If it don't work, move them into the other. And so I'm going to go. And plus, here's something else that we spoke about a lot this morning on the draft show. I did with Justin Mello. Neither one of us have any faith that Jonas Savaigne is going to improve this year. You have to bake that into the cake as well. That if he doesn't improve and if Austin Jackson gets hurt and you already got one need, they need linemen. So I'm going Caleb Lamu with my second pick. I know Tom's going to go nuts because he wants me to take Kenyon Sadiq, but I'm sorry, Tom.
Oh, you talk about
Reese. He's still there, Tommy. He's still there.
Run.
Okay.
Run to the podium, Mike. Run.
Totally unreal. Now, totally unrealistic. It's totally unrealistic, but I'm going to take him because he's there pick 43. I'm taking Kenyon Sadiq. The fact in reality, this is no chance of this happening. He's going to go from like pick 11 to pick 20 somewhere. But okay, we'll play along here. Kenyon Sadiq.
Oh, home run draft. A++++.
This is the best draft we've done.
Oh my God.
Now I'm not even done yet, Tommy. I got 4 picks coming up. Oh my God, look what we got here. Okay, so we got Tate, we got a big wide receiver, we got an offensive lineman, we got a tight end, we need edge rushers. And we got some options here. We got Joshua Josephs from Tennessee. We got him. Actually, you know what? Jacob Rodriguez I love, but he's not really an edge rusher. I just think he reminds me so much of Andrew Van Ginkel. It's freaking scary. The guy just makes plays always around the ball. God, I'm gonna have a lot of fun in this draft. Okay, I'm going with Joshua Josephs because we need edge rusher help, and we have to start somewhere. So there.
Oh, look, you're back on the board.
Back on the board.
I love
All
it.
right. Oh my God, this is insane.
I think you go corner here.
I think so, but here's the deal. Malachi Fields. We could get 2 wide receivers. Well, know what? I have a tight end receiver. I can't go another wide receiver. You're right. Otherwise, I take Fields, but because Kenyon Sadiq fell to my lap, makes it tough. Yeah, I think I got to go Devin Moore out of Florida. Yep. Let's get some secondary help here.
He meets the height requirement, people.
Yep. And then we're up again. So wait, let's see. Who do I have so far? We got one offensive lineman, edge, corner. Okay, here's what we're doing. This guy is going to be a fan favorite in 2 seconds. So he played tackle at Iowa, but in the NFL, he's going to be a guard. He's going to be an awesome guard because that's where he's going to play in the NFL. And this guy's got the best head of hair you've ever seen in your life. If you're a fan of red mullets, Jennings Dunker out of Iowa has the best mullet that you've ever seen with a mullet. And this guy, he's my insurance for Jonas Avainea in case, he does stink. And you know what? This guy might beat him out in camp anyways. Give me Jennings Dunker, my second offensive lineman. And I'm still going with picks in round 3. Malachi Fields is staring at me in the face. Justin Jolly we got there. Deontay Lawson at linebacker.
Genesis Smith. I like Genesis Smith. Safety out of Arizona. He's a thumper.
Yeah. You know what?
He's like your perfect center fielder for safety.
We need safety help. That's one area I haven't addressed yet. I have a corner. I don't have a safety, and we need so much help. So I'm going to listen to my trusty advisor. You're going to be like Robinson there from the Titans, who's now in Miami. You're my right-hand man to my ear. I'm going to take Genesis Smith. And let's get to round 4, pick 130. Ooh. Oh, we got another guy I love. Bud Clark from TCU is staring at me in the face. And I'm letting you know our secondary is pretty stinking bad. I'm going to go Bud Clark. Let's go back-to-back safeties. Got 3 secondary players now. Round 5, we got Drew Aller. Now, if I knew we were trading like Achane, I'd take Nick Singleton from Penn State, but I don't know that. We got our guy, Jacoby Lane, Tom. We just have to take it at this. He's still there. We have to take him.
Big body wide receiver.
We need pass catchers.
Pair with Cardinal Tate and Kenyon Sadiq.
We've just revamped our offense.
Oh, it's done.
This is
top 10 offense in the league in 2027.
Malik Willis running the ball. Achane running the ball. Tall wide receivers. A stud tight end.
What a world we live in.
Let's just say it right now. Championship. All right.
Not in 2026.
No, not 2026. All right, here's what we're going to do.
We got so much talent, we might win 6 games.
We got 2 picks in round 7. Taylon Green, the quarterback. Well, I'm not a huge fan of, but we're going to roll the dice because what the hell we got to lose? It's round 7. Taylon Green.
Miami's got some familiarity with him with one of the coaches there. So.
Yep, our new quarterback's coach.
Yep.
What are we going to do here?
I love the name. We're not going to take him, but I love the name.
Who?
Vinny Anthony.
Vinny Anthony, a nice little paisan from Wisconsin.
Anthony, a nice little paisan there.
I'm actually going to go. Let's go with your guy, Eric Gentry. He's still there. And that's going to be this draft. I think that's it. Yep.
Home run draft.
This is I got to be honest. I wanted more of an edge rusher, but we got one with our first pick in round 3. We took 2 safeties and a corner. So we got some secondary help. But with Tate, Sadiq, I mean, that's great. We got Lomu and Jennings Dunker. I mean, our offensive line, we're going to get help there. And we have some insurance in case Jonas stinks. This is the best draft we've done so far.
This is honestly, this is unrealistic. Not going to play out that way.
Yeah.
But if the Dolphins do this, they, John Eric Sullivan is now, based on this, setting up Malik Willis for success. So if Malik Willis fails with Cardinal Tate, Kenyon Sadiq,
and Jacoby
Lane, Malik Washington, Devon Achane, then Malik Willis isn't it, folks. And we just pick a quarterback in 2027 and keep
They're
it
taking
moving.
a quarterback in 2027. Oh, short of him leading us to the playoffs, they're taking a quarter. Folks, I don't think they're going to
They're
win 6 or
100%
7
taking
games.
it.
They're taking a quarterback in round 1 next year just because they're going to have competition there. Hell, we got competition at punter, long snapper, and kicker right now after what they did this week. They're going to have competition at quarterback next year. And it ain't Quinn Ewers. I'm sorry, folks, for the Quinn Ewers truthers out there. But that's a good one. That's a good one right there. All right, let's do one where we do this last one. This one we'll look at trades, and we have to agree on it.
Make sure you change it fast.
Yeah, it's on. Oh, it's fast. I'm sorry. Yep. You want to do PFF again, since that one seemed to be a lot of fun?
Sure. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. And here we will look at the trades and consider. All right. We got David Bailey on the board. Now, see, I don't care what the trade is. We trade pick 1190.
It's 100% a rejection.
It's a rejection because we're taking David Bailey.
Yep.
Same here. This is a sweet trade. I do this trade. But no, we're not going to pass on David Bailey, who I think is probably the best edge rusher in this draft.
Correct.
Yeah, we got to take David Bailey.
David Bailey, 100%.
Now,
not
look,
enough. A short of a swap of one, a second round, and a first next year, there's no deal.
Now, they got CJ Allen, who's a good player, going at 10. That's a little surprising. Especially, that's where I don't think it'd be, because they just lost Trey Hendrickson. They would jump all over David Bailey in reality, I think. But for our purposes, they did it.
And that if David Bailey was off the board there, that it's 100% a trade down spot for the Dolphins. Based on this trade, top 10 paid out.
This trade we have to make, because we moved down one spot and we swap out 151 for 95. Now, Kenyon Sadiq's there, Tom, and there's a chance he might not be. But I don't care, because you're moving up 50-something spots to slide back one spot, and we have so many needs, it's not that big a deal.
Yep. What's the second offer? Let's see the other trade before we say yes.
30 to 54, we get a second next year.
And you pick up a early third or late.
We swap 130 for 68. So we swap a pick in round 4 for another pick in round 3.
But that's on the top end of round 3.
Yeah, but we slide back.
You get a second next year. See, that's what's enticing to me is the second next year.
Yeah, I think this one, though, let's not worry about next year right now. You move back one spot and you slide up 40. I don't want to slide back 20-something spots. That's a lot. We have so many needs.
But I get it. All right, so let's do the Patriots offer. I mean, if it was me, I would counter a little bit, but
I mean,
it's not worth. It'll take too much time to counter. Yeah. So let's accept that. And look at that.
We got another offer. Now we got to slide back 30.
It's the Eagles offer, essentially.
Essentially, yeah, we're not doing this. Slide back 20. We get a second next year. No, because I just took the last offer. Holy shit.
Eagles.
Now hold on. We trade 31 and we get we get essentially 2 more top 100 picks. I don't know. We have a chance to get Kenyon Sadiq here if he's not. No, we can take him because New England took Zion. No, so let's just say no and take Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
I mean, if we get David Bailey and Kenyon Sadiq in the first round, it's not going to happen, but Jesus Christ. We slide back one spot and we pick up. I don't care about 242.
No, and I don't care to give the Jets anything.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on here, Tommy. Hold on. New England wants to give us their second and third next year if we go back 20 spots.
Yes.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm 100% doing that.
Because we got so many picks in round 3. Now we're going to have 5 picks in round 3. Yeah. And it's like we get a second and third.
And you get a second and third. So now
we got to do this one.
First 2 seconds and 2/3 next year. You're 100% making that trade.
We're making this trade. I don't care who just went. No. At some point, we have to stop.
We just got to stop. Yeah.
We're going to reach. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oh, now who have we taken? I forgot. David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq. Max here from. He should not be there 49. Or not 49. He should not be there at 63. I think he's our pick here at the end of round 2. let's
100%.
get So let's go with Max, and again from Arizona State. Trying to say his last name, I'll just butcher it. Let's go there. Now we get to round 3. I'm not trading with the Bills, and we don't need to pick up a 4th round next year. Let's just say no. No, we have no. Let's just sit tight. We got to start picking players here.
Yep, we got to change this franchise.
Yeah. All right. So we have Bailey, Sadiq, and we got Max. You got Malachi Fields. We need defensive help. Here's a corner from Ohio State, Davison, who we like. He's probably the guy we should take right here, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, we got so many picks coming up. Still,
we got to have help with secondary help. Yeah.
Yeah, we need some secondary help.
Not trading with the Bills for a set. We don't care about the 7th. Denver.
No, too far of a drop.
Too far of a drop. Okay. So could go wide receiver. I don't want Branch. He's too small. Chris Brazil. Tom, or more. It's got to be Chris Brazil or more. Who do you want?
I'd say 1, 2.
I'll give you this.
We got 2. Listen, we got 2 picks in between.
So you got to be strategic here.
Yeah.
And hope.
Yep. So I'm gonna say take Devin Moore.
I agree, because there's 2 wide receivers ahead of him here. Yep. So hopefully he'll slip through the cracks.
Yeah, and the next 2 picks are Jaguars and Bears, and the Bears have already invested a lot in wide receivers, so there's going to be a guy there. So you take Devin Moore.
Okay, and now he's there. He's still there. So trade, slide back 6 spots. You get a 4th next year. That's not bad, actually. But you know what? That's worth the risk if we lose Chris Brazil.
Now, if you do this deal, okay, you're giving up a 6 next year with whatever. You're moving up into the 4th to move back 6 spots. If you do this, Miami's picking 94th, 95th, and 96th.
I love this. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Because it's only 6 spots.
Yeah, and you get a 4th. So now the Dolphins will have a 1st, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths in 2027. People.
John Eric Sullivan would absolutely love this draft right now. He'd be probably wetting his pants. All right, let's accept this. Oh man, no, let's not do this. We got to start making picks here.
Yep.
Chris Brazil. So we did all that moving, and our guy that we liked is still there at the end of the day.
Yep. So let's make this easy for everyone. So we're going to take Chris Brazil for a wide receiver from Tennessee.
Yep.
Pick 94.
We're not making this trade.
95.
Now we can go. You got safety help here. You got
I'm a Genesis Smith fan. I like him here with one of these 2 picks. So
I say we take one of the safeties. And I say we also take. Because we didn't. Oh no, we already took Sadiq, so we don't need a tight end. Let's take both safeties. Hell with it, man. We need safety help.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's just go Genesis Smith, and then we'll go Wheatley after that.
Oh, what a draft. What a draft.
The PFF ranking seemed like to be a lot more fun. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Oh, absolutely is. But now we get to sit and wait.
Yeah, we got a long wait.
Until round 7.
But we got picks next year coming out of yin yang.
Yep. Oh, we have changed the Miami Dolphins franchise for the better, Mike.
Yeah.
If John Eric Sullivan is watching this, we're available.
I'm free 3 nights in April. I will fly down. Although those lines scare me in TSA, I will fly down. I will fly down and help out. You want to take? You know what? We're in round 7. Who cares? Vincent Anthony, a nice little Paisan. Although I'm sure he's probably not a Paisan. You want to take him?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I'd say no. Stretch. Yeah. Why not? Why not? It's round 7.
Yeah. There's Lorenzo Styles Jr. He's the brother of the other Styles, who tested off the charts at the combine.
Take him.
It's a safety, which we already took 2, but you know what? Who cares? It's round 7.
It's round 7.
All right, we're done. Let's see this one. Wait till we see the picks we got coming next year. There we go. David Bailey, home run. Kenyon Sadiq, home run. Max, not necessarily home run, but a lot of upside there. We got the 2 corners. We got the kid from Ohio State and Igbitson and Moore. Chris Brazil. So we got another pass catcher to pair with Sadiq, Jennison Smith, Zach Wheatley. Then we got two edge and another safety. But we pick up New England's second next year, New England's third next year, and Seattle's fourth next year.
Ammunition to move up for a quarterback if you need to.
I mean, the first two picks of this draft aren't A+. They're A+++++. And Bailey and Sadiq. A+++++. And with your top two picks, and we even traded back on one of them, one spot, and still got him. This is awesome.
Love it.
All right, so that's our mock drafts for this week. Again, we'll have some fun with this probably each Sunday between now and the draft. And then when we get closer, we'll do the official alternating picks one, which we should do probably one of those soon too as well. In round one where we just switch for every other team. But yeah, that's the stuff with the Dolphins. Look, they have so many picks and they're not done yet. I don't think this guy's done. I think Brooks and I think Achane are in play, which will probably get him more picks this year. So yeah, we'll see. But all right, everyone, check out the website, DolphinsTalk.com. Got a bunch of new articles and commentaries up and some new videos up there as well. Watching on YouTube, smash that like button right before the show ends. Smash it. Follow Tom on social media, Twitter at DolphinsTalk.com. Follow myself, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and everywhere else at Dolphins Talk. Again, Dolphins Talk Extra, patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. It's $5 a month. You pay more for coffee every day. There's always a one-time fee, $5 a month, and you can participate in our fan mock draft Friday night, April the 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty much it. Everyone have a great rest of your Sunday night. Like I said, full slate of shows this week coming up. Get ready for them, and we'll talk to you again after a while.
Fins up.